Hey, family, what's going on? Welcome to the Black Girl Mod Pod. That means podcast. Welcome to the Black Girl Mod Pod. I am your host and founder, Myelin Harris. I am so excited to be here with y'all for episode number 4. Okay, first of all, for those of you who are watching the video version of this, I need you to, this is high quality stuff happening right now. I changed the background, cameras all new and sexy. Okay, see this, we start moving up, right? We start moving up. And so we are so excited. The first 3 episodes were absolutely incredible. We're getting amazing feedback from these. And very simple reason is that the women that I am introducing you to are just pure magic. They are the dictionary definition of Black girl magic. Okay, so this episode is not going to be any different today. So make sure that this is one of the few podcasts you just need to make sure you have a piece of paper and you have to have a pen or pencil so you can take down some notes, because y'all gonna do some learning today. All right, with our episode guest this week. And look, this sister, guys, oh my goodness, I'm going to tell you about our connection story, of course, when I get her here on camera. But this sister is just one of those individuals that comes into your life and you're just like, oh, thank you, Lord. If you are a business owner, one thing we're always looking for is a business owner that has that same vibe, same energy, same drive that you have, right? You're always looking for you, right? And when I had a chance to connect with this sister, I was like, yes, this is exactly who I'm looking for to be a part of this movement. And she has really been with us since the whole Womb Network and now moving into Black Girl Mob. She's just absolutely phenomenal. And I know that you are going to love her just as much as I do. So let me go ahead and just stop talking and bring to our video stage Dr. Angela Clemmons. What's going on, sis? Welcome to the Black Girl Mob Pod.
Mom. I'm so excited to be here. Maya, thank you for that warm introduction. Look,
of course,
I love being in a room with women who want to empower, inspire, encourage, uplift, and support each other. And that's what I found with you. I was just, from the moment we met, I was like, I need to be connected to this woman. And so all these years later, here we are.
Here we are. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for being on this platform and everything that you have done for this amazing community of women that we have. Honestly, we've been growing now for 7 years. Like, we're in year 7. Isn't that crazy? Year 7.
That's incredible.
Absolutely incredible. So just excited to have you here. I've just been watching your journey from the time we met to see where you are now. And it is absolutely phenomenal. And first of all, one thing I love, when we featured you on our blog, on one of our first blog posts for Black Girl Mob, the comments, like, I was like, yo, who is, like, is she like a model or something? I'm like, I know. She is always flawless. And I'm looking at you right now, purely flawless, hair laid, like makeup perfect, always full. It's just so gorgeous. And it cracks me up. And they're like, Maya, you have beautiful friends. I was like, I know I have beautiful friends. They're so amazing. But girl, you always look so good. So before we get into the nitty-gritty of the day, give the folks just a quick overview of who you are and what your business is. We're going to talk about the details, but give us that elevator pitch and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, yes. Well, you know what? Listen, y'all, I am a mama. Okay. I'm a wife. I have 3 amazing daughters. They're all grown up now. So empty nester here. 3 amazing daughters. I have 6 beautiful grandchildren. I'm a Desert Storm veteran. And I'm a wife. Did I say that? I am a wife, Desert Storm veteran. But the biggest thing, the most important title or name or brand that I represent is that I'm a daughter. I'm a daughter of
Yes.
God. And so that
Yes.
is, first and foremost before anything, any title,
And
any
everything else falls into place after that. Yes.
yes. So that's
Absolutely.
who
Well, first of
I am.
all, from one daughter to the other, our spirits recognize each other. That's why we get along so well. But also, thank you for your service as a veteran of Desert Storm. It has impacted so many women. It will continue to, and not just women, families. But of course, we're talking about the ladies here, and you've impacted so many of them, and this, but the things that you're building, and just your work ethic, and how you approach everything. You are an example for other women to look at. Okay, she's a wife, she's a mom, she's a grandmother. Absolutely phenomenal. So tell us, well, I want to go ahead and get into, learning a little bit more about, or just first talking about how we connected. I think that's important. The connection story is always important to me because as we're out and about and meeting people as business owners, we do a lot of networking, and we're looking to, meet new clients or meet new partners. And I think sometimes when we're in the networking space, or we're at all of these different events, we're looking for the next client, right? The next sale. But that's not what we were looking for. And I think the fact that we weren't looking for that just made our connection even more important. So I'll let you tell a story. Let the folks know how we actually ended up connecting.
Y'all, I think it was pretty wild for me. So another business partner and friend, someone that I had met through networking, through events. It's always an event or something.
Always an event.
And so we met at an event, and there was a young lady from Greensboro who said, "I'm having this ball."
Yeah.
And so we decided we're going to go to this ball. And me and another friend who had came together through networking decided to go to this ball. And as we were about to leave, I don't even think we even had conversation during the ball, but as we were about to leave the vicinity, we saw you, we heard you talking about this thing that you had, this organization about Black women in business, and how there are the disparities between the income levels of Black women and women of other nationalities, or, and we just listened in and thought, we need that here in Raleigh. We wanted to know more about that situation. And so what you had to say was what we needed, and that was it. We connected and it was on.
Well, I loved how when we met, how you approached me, because I didn't know anybody. Even the sister that invited me to come down, she was in our network, our womb network on Facebook. I had never had a conversation with her. Yeah, had never met her, and she inboxed me, and she was telling me about this award ceremony that they were having in North Carolina, and that womb had been given this award. And I was like, oh wow, like I had never even heard of it before. And I was so honored, and I realized that she had been in the group for a while. She had just been there watching, and isn't that a lesson though? Like when people are watching you, they may not say something, but you have such an impact on people that you don't even realize. So I come down to North Carolina. I brought the guy I was dating at the time with me. I have to have somebody with me down here. And that was really the first time that group had been recognized, with an award. So, talked about it. It didn't really expect a lot to come from it. It was just, it just felt, for me, it was just a great feeling to be recognized. And then, coming out from that space and seeing you, and I think there was three of you all together. Right?
There's three of us that came to Raleigh. Yes.
And, for you to acknowledge that, it meant so much to me, because, we were coming out of COVID. We were all just kind of getting back outside, and having someone acknowledge, hey, I love what you're doing. We want to bring that here. And I don't think what you realized at the time, we were just getting to the point where we were expanding past Virginia, that group originally was just a local group. And so because of COVID, we all we all, had to come inside and all that good stuff. But this was really the very beginning of the expansion. And so outside of Virginia and maybe DC, we were still at that starting point. And for y'all to just take a concept and a person that you didn't know, but you felt like you had a connection to it, that meant so much to me. And it really was the spark that really started our chapters in that group, with of course the North Carolina chapter being the strongest chapter, because it was led by you.
Wow.
So such a leader, but that connection story is important, because we did not come at each other. Well, what you did do was you looked at my fingernails. You were like, hold up, let me give you some. Let me give you some color street nails, girl. I was like, okay, I love the good nails. But we were it was all about partnership from the beginning. And so we can't miss those opportunities when we're out looking for a client. It's that the connection is not always going to be a client, right? That connection became a partnership, which eventually brought more clients for both of us. And so I just thought that was so such a great way to understand the power of connection when we're out meeting folks, right? So tell us, so you and your husband have this uniform company, TresMC. Now, how did you end up? Because I thought that was unique. So I had never met a Black-owned uniform company. I think of all the years that, in education and working in the school system and knowing the process of getting uniforms for the school and all that good stuff. I'd never come across a Black-owned, uniform company. So how did you and your husband get into that industry?
That's quite interesting that you asked that question. You know what? TresMC was born out of a need. I was a mama who was trying to find uniforms for 3 young children, and they were all different sizes, different ages. You got tall, you got thick. And so at that time, you could not go into a store and find uniforms for every person. You might find a piece here for one child, a piece for another child, but then you'd spend hours to come home empty-handed. And so one day we were sitting around the dinner table, and my kids were venting. They were tired of hand-me-downs. One was tired of flooding because she was so tall. I believe she might have been 5'6" in the 7th grade. Oh, wow. And they just said, you know what? We need to start our own company, because it just wasn't there for us. It wasn't out there. And we sat there and I thought, you know what? Maybe you're right. And instead of complaining, instead of crying about we can't find what we need, we decided to be the solution, to create the solution. And looked up some vendors, did a little research. Before you know it, we were in business.
That is phenomenal. Just filling that need and making it so much easier for families to be able to go to one spot, get affordable uniforms for all their kids. I absolutely love the website. The kids on the website are just absolutely adorable, but it's, it just makes it so much easier, for families, and whatever we can do for families to make life easier is a good thing. Right. So you have TresMC, you and your husband are building this company. You come into, at the time, Womb Network, and you're just a great opportunity to, start building connections that way. And, but then I was just like, wait a second, Angela's doing some other stuff. Like, what else is she doing? Like, so moving into this serial entrepreneurship. And so you had some other projects that you started, but then we landed here on his treasured vessel. How did we end up from school uniforms to being a visionary author, right, for other women, in having this amazing book come out, and then the movement behind it? So how did you end up with his treasured vessel as well?
Well, what had happened was, no, just kidding. What happened was, as we meet people and we're networking and meeting people online, I met a woman who actually got me started on my writing journey. I believe she's one of the Black Girl Mob. Shout out my friend Wayner Crumley. I'm going to go ahead and shout her out.
Yes.
Let me put her funny because Wayner reached out to me about writing in an anthology that she was putting together, and it was called Overcomer. And she said,
Yep.
"Hey, do you want to, tell a little bit of your story and your life and things like that?" And I thought, that's interesting. I had never written before, never desired or thought I wanted to write, but I figured I'll try that. So I wrote a little bit in there, and then she had a second anthology, and it was called Blessed. And when Blessed came around, I said, you know what? I am blessed. Let me really dig into this story a little bit more, tell a little bit more about my life, because I believe what the word says about overcoming by the testimony, the blood of the Lamb, the testimony. And I have a testimony to help people to be strong, to have faith and be inspired. So I wrote in that book Blessed, and I felt, okay, I did very good, but that wasn't it. I wasn't there yet. And what really led me there is it was divine. It was divine. We were told that my grandmother was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer.
Oh my God.
And when you hear that grandma has lung cancer and you're thinking, well, I don't know how long she's going to live, we got everybody together. It was a family reunion, total family reunion. We're coming from all over the country to Gadsden, Alabama, because we're going to see grandmother. And when I got there, you know how you go a long way, you travel, you want to see everybody. So you got to go to this house, this house, this house. You're going to make all the rounds. So
one of
the houses I went to was my aunt, who happens to be a prophet, and she's praying and speaking and doing all these things. And I'm sitting over in the corner kind of watching. And she said, "You're not living your life pretty much to the fullest. You're not living how you're supposed to do. You're not walking in purpose." And I realized in that moment that I really did not know what my purpose was. I didn't understand what that purpose was. But she told me, "You're going to write a book." Now, I had written a story, a chapter in a book, but she said, "You're going to write a book." And that book is called I Thought I Lost. Right here.
Yep.
And when she said that, I took that. I took that to heart. And His Treasure Vessel Ministry was birthed out of this, because as I wrote this book, as I looked back through all of the times in my life, I realized that God wanted me to tell my story. I always thought my voice would be to sing all over the world, because I could sing like Whitney now. Okay.
Oh, we're getting into that. Trust me, you weren't going to explain that.
I thought my voice was going to be to sing. But as I wrote this book, I realized that it's not my singing voice. It is the voice that lets people know that there's more for you. There's a purpose for you. You're not too old to pursue your dreams, and so on and so forth. And that is what I do. I share faith-based messages, supporting women, helping them to walk in faith, and letting them know that you can have power, you can have purpose. It's inside of you. And with God as your help, you can do anything that you put your mind to.
Absolutely. That is absolutely beautiful. And for me, it's exciting to see, you're coming into the ministry. Next thing I know, you're finishing up a program, and you're Dr. Angela Clemmons, and your content change, just watching you grow, not just as a business owner, but as a woman, as a Christian, and seeing that it's a physical change. I mean, you can see it. There's a certain glow about you, because of it. And it's absolutely beautiful. And again, that has such an impact on other people. Like, you have no idea the reach that you even have, and who's being touched and who's being impacted by what you're saying, what you're doing, what your words are. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. And that the whole His Treasure Vessel ministry is really is just going to continue to bless people all around. I'm just absolutely excited about that. I'm gonna make you sing at the end, but we're gonna go ahead and move.
Okay.
I'm not gonna make you do a whole concert, but we're gonna get some notes. Okay. So how do you feel like your business has changed you? How do you feel like everything that you've been through, and the impact that you're having, how has it personally changed you?
You know what? I think that it's helped me to have thick skin. You realize that when you're going through, or when you're operating a business, that you're not always going to be up at the top, right? You realize that people aren't going to just hand you anything. That's one thing that I know. We started this business without knowing anything about business. It was just, look, I have an idea and I have faith. And I'm a proponent of faith. I'm going to tell you, when you start something, you may not always be ready. You may not know what to do, but if you have an idea and God gives you that thing, then you have to run with it. And as you are going through, as you are building, you are learning, you meet people, you have resources, you have helpers, you have those connections that you get that help to keep you moving. But I just, I'm a lot stronger. I have more confidence in myself and in my abilities, because I've done something that other people haven't seen. You haven't seen this type of business. We have concierge service. That's something that we offer. We would come to your house, measure your child, personally order your uniforms. That type of level of customer service and value that we offer to our customers, it's just something that we're very proud of. And I feel confident and strong. And I know that I believe that's something that we can, a model that we can share with others and duplicate. So.
Right. And you don't see that level of customer service in this day and age of AI, right? Like we don't have house calls anymore. So that's absolutely, it's incredible. It's unique. And it's something that allows people to say, you know what, this is different. Let me recommend this person. Let me refer you guys, this is the mom's picking up the phone. Hey, this company came to our house. Like you have to call, they're amazing, right? It's that extra level of customer service, because we go online and buy a uniform from a company, but are they gonna come to the house? Are gonna make sure that the fit is proper for my kids? That's incredible. I didn't even know about that part. I think that's absolutely amazing.
And we love that. We love that. We love for people to call us on the phone. We actually answered the phone. You know what I'm saying? Who answers the phone these days? The voicemail or on hold forever. And so we love that. I think customer service is, I didn't talk about that in my background, but customer service is so important.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is, isn't it? Jesus.
I need it. I mean, it's unacceptable to have bad customer service. I'm sorry.
Nothing makes me more upset. It can be the most basic place, and you're just like, really? Like, why?
Thank you. Welcome me.
I don't know. That drives me crazy. I love it. So the other thing I want to talk to you about, because I feel like the uniform business is not necessarily something, like I said, you would typically find as a Black-owned business. So what are some of the challenges that y'all may have faced as a Black-owned company coming into a space that's typically not run by Black founders?
Do I really have to explain that?
You don't, because people still think that it doesn't exist. Like we don't have the issues. Like it's just a level playing field. I feel like, no, it's still happening. Here's another example for you. How many examples do we have to have? So I mean, let them know, like this is still happening.
It's just tough to break in. It's tough to break in if you don't look a certain way. If you don't have the experience, or you don't have what they think is the credentials, then it's really hard to break into various organizations and schools and such. We sent so many letters and made phone calls and did a number of things to try and get into certain schools, and we just could not get inside of them unless it was a Black school. For the most part, it had to be a Black institution. But there was this one time where there was a school It is in the community, kind of like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's in the community. And there happened to be a lady who said, I'm at this school and they're looking for a local vendor because they were
Mm-hmm.
purchasing their uniforms from a company outside of the area. And when you're dealing with people needing to try on clothes,
Right.
they
Right.
need returns and those types of things. And that lady said they're looking for a local vendor. And so we pursued it. And we were
Mm-hmm.
able to get a contract with the school with hundreds
Awesome.
of students. We have never served that many students at one time, but we said if we get the opportunity, we're going to
Yeah.
make it happen. And so it's so important in business that you don't sell yourself short because you've never done
Mm-hmm.
anything before. You don't
Exactly.
back up because you're not sure how the outcome is going to be. You just
Right.
go for it. And that's what we did. And
That's right.
amazing.
That's right. Look, I firmly believe it. And I know you believe this. You make sure that you're in the right place, and God will take care of the extra that you think you can't handle. But you got to make sure you're in the place, right?
Yeah, most
Faith
definitely.
without works is dead. You still got to put yourself in that place and let Him handle the blessing part of it.
That's,
I absolutely love that. I
that's
love that. So we don't have a whole lot of time, but I always want to make sure I ask this question for all my guests before we end for the evening. Um, or the day or whatever time y'all are watching this. But this is the question I'm always going to ask, and this is for particularly for our community. So if more Black women understood blank, everything would shift.
You know what? There's a couple of things actually. If you really understood the power of taking taking ownership of what you're going to do, you
Mhm.
can't always depend on other people, right?
Right.
Sometimes we have connections, we have collaborations and those types of things, but people will fail you. People will fail you. You've got to
Sure
have
will.
a strong belief in yourself that I'm the owner of this. I'm going to make it happen. It doesn't matter what happens around me. I'm going to make it happen. But then, in addition to that, I believe it's important to invest in yourself, but also to invest in the relationships, that collaboration that you brought, that you taught us. That connection and that collaboration is so important because we can't do things or we can't do everything on our own. We need connection. We need collaboration. And that's one of the most important things that we can have because you never know who that one person is that's going to take your business or your life to that next level. So,
Absolutely. I absolutely love that. So first of all, sis, thank you so much for jumping on with me this evening, sharing your story, sharing this advice to our community, but to anybody else who's watching us too. We know how impactful it is. I want to make sure that people know how to get in touch with you. So, first of all, if you have a kid that needs a uniform, I need you to go ahead and check out the Trace MC website. Go to tresmc.com. What are they going to find when they get to your website?
well, you'll find your polos, your shirts, your pants, your dresses, all of those things. And if you don't see what you need on the website, email us. We do special orders and we will take care of you. We want to make sure that you have affordable uniforms, that they fit well, and that your child feels amazing in their uniform. So reach out to us if you don't see what you need, and we're ready to assist you.
Absolutely. And of course, we want to make sure that y'all are able to connect with Dr. Angela at histreasuredvessel.com. It is definitely the place where and we can get our books there too, right?
Mhm. Absolutely. You can find this book here, I Thought I Lost, and The Success Equation, which is success God's way. All right. I believe that if you follow the principles of God's word, if you meditate in his word, if you trust in his word, there's so many things in here. It's about the word. You will have success. The Bible tells you that. So you can find those books there. And then you can connect with me on Facebook in His Treasured Vessel, a Facebook group. And that is where we're there, we're a community,
Yeah.
building each other up. Faith, power, purpose is what it's all about. and community. So join us over there for some encouragement.
Absolutely, guys. I want to make sure I put them back on the screen real quick as well. So your uniforms, guys, you're going to go to TresMC.com to get all things uniform. School's almost over, so this is the perfect time to start preparing for next year. And of
Mhm.
course, checking out Dr. Angela at his treasuredvessel.com and checking out his Treasure Vessel group on Facebook. It is a beautiful place to be. Just the inspiration and daily motivation. You definitely want to check out that group. And I thank you again, sis. And if you want to have a quick conversation with her, look, you need to go ahead and make sure that you are at our next Black Girl Mob meetup. Every second Monday of the month, you're just going to go to blackgirlmob.com/meetup. As a matter of fact, if you scan the QR code in the upper left, that will get you straight to our meetup page. Guys, this is an incredible place to meet other entrepreneurs like Angela who are just focused, who are just dynamic and building amazing things in their community. And right now, our membership drive is still open. Come and be a part of the Black Girl Mob
Come on,
table.
y'all.
Okay, you got to come get your spot at
Come
the
on,
table, guys. And so you can scan the QR code that's up there right now as well. And we also have the website scrolling at the bottom, blackgirlmob.com/membership. It is $10. Now, that $10 membership is going to get you more than you can possibly imagine. It doesn't even make sense that it's
amazing.
$10. But we want to make sure people have access. We want to make sure they're able to make these connections, understand how to get their business visible through using multimedia marketing. And so that is part of what the Black Girl Mob podcast is about. It's what our Black Girl Mob report is all about, which is our monthly newsletter, and the Black Girl Mob table, which is our membership. And there's so much more to come. We are only in our fifth month of our year-long launch, and every month during 2026 something new is going to be coming up for Black Girl Mob. So you want to make sure that you are a part of everything that's about to happen, guys. We are so excited. Cannot wait to welcome you, and so we can have some more success stories like we have with Dr. Angela Clemmons. Again, sis, thank you so much
Thank
for being a part of this community, being a part of this family, of the sisterhood, period. And we can't wait to see what your next level is going to be. I appreciate you so much. Love you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. Be blessed. It be a blessing. And we will see y'all I guess next Wednesday with another amazing mob boss. Y'all be blessed.